Good evening, everybody. My name is Salaam Ismial. I'm the director of the National United Youth Council Incorporated, and this is our 5th annual Black Men's Forum, Black History Month. Welcome you all here today. Give yourself a round of applause. We also like to thank Masjid Al-Hadi here at 9 Broad Street, Elizabeth, New Jersey, under the leadership of Imam Rahman Muhammad. We thank you for hosting this event and being part of this historical setting. Before I start the introduction, I'd like to open in prayer. We are in the house of worship, and our Imam Rahman Muhammad.
And for the sake of, we have visitors here, this is really an interfaith workshop. Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar. We have people from different religious denominations. So that's a fine, wonderful thing, and that's what Allah wants us to do, is to socialize. Allahu Akbar. We're going to open up with prayer, and then I'm going to give English transliteration so that people that understand Sahabi. Allahu Akbar. So please follow me without bending. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal an'amta 'alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi 'alayhim waladdallin. With the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. Praise be to God, the cherisher and sustainer of all the worlds, the most gracious, the most merciful, master of the day of judgment. Thee do we worship and thy aid we seek. Show us the straight way, the way of those on whom thou hast bestowed thy grace, those whose portions do not dwell and who will not astray. And also, I just want to briefly thank the Honorable Salaam Ismial for presenting this Public Advocate National Unity Youth Council Incorporated. This is a very, very worthwhile program. And we want to thank the brother for being on the case. Takbir. He's on the case. He's out there for the youth, whether they're Christian, Muslim, whatever. He's an advocate. An advocate means one who fights, who disturbs the system. That's what an advocate does. And he does it very well. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Imam. Now, so, you guys hear me? This mic? Yeah. Okay, first and foremost, I want to, you guys will have a copy of the agenda of the speakers that we bring before here. And before I do that, I want to present our presenter, who also will serve on the panel and will be working the floor. Assistant Imam here at Masjid Al-Hadi. I'd like to present the theme for today, dealing with adversity. Imam.
Oh yeah. Everybody hear me? No. First and foremost, I want to thank you, Brother Salaam Ismial and the National Youth Council, Inc. We thank all of you here for joining us here at Masjid Al-Hadi. It is our pleasure, and we're here for a purpose, and we always begin with God's name, because we ask God, in His name we go forth. We ask Him to aid us in our efforts. And inshallah, God willing, we'll have a successful and productive program here tonight. Black men, and if you notice, I said black men. You know, black men facing adversity. And I see a diversity of men from different fields of expertise. I see activists, organizers, specialists, authors, imams, ministers, pastors. I asked one brother back there, was he my Sunday school teacher? You know, I like to have fun. I like to smile. You know, because when you smile, you make others smile. I had a shirt that I was going to wear, and it said, smile with a smiley face on it. It's sunnah. It's the way of the Muslim to smile. So I have a diversity of people here. Mentors, street warriors, teachers. We have a police officer, detective / advocate on his way. Artists, businessmen, and just sincere, good-hearted black men. However, the thing is, we're all here for the same purpose. We're all here for the same purpose. I was gonna pose a question, but I decided I'm not gonna pose that question. I'm just gonna mention it, because one of the things that plagues our community the most, you know, because I was gonna ask people what plagues our community the most. But one of the things that plagues our community most as black men is a lack of unity. And a plague is a disease. It's a disease that has it affects a structure or the function of the human being, right? So we have to be grateful that we're here today together. See, we're not disunited here today. So we came to unite for one purpose, for the same purpose, and that is to address the issues, the ills that plague our society, that plagues our homes and our communities and our people. This is Black History Month.
That's right.
And we can't mention the black man without mentioning the black families. Why? Because every social ill in society affects us more than anybody else.
That's right.
Every social ill. Gun violence, crime, housing, unemployment, discrimination, incarceration, drugs, alcohol abuse,
Go ahead.
mental illness, emotional disorder, spousal abuse, education, and many, many more. But with that, I want to set the premise, you know, because that's what I'm here to do. Set the premise for our discussion today. And I want to come from our holy book, which it doesn't matter what your belief is, I know that you'll be able to relate to the message. Because this is something that we have a responsibility to do. We say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And what I just said was, I seek refuge with God from the evils of Satan, the accursed one. With God's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. Because we have to seek refuge, because Satan is always active. He's going to come in your thoughts. He's going to come in your desires. He's going to come in every way that he possibly could to disrupt when you're coming together. And I'm quoting from our holy book. Listen to this, brothers and sisters. And why should you not fight in the cause of God? And those who, being weak, are ill-treated and oppressed, men, women, and children, whose cry is, our Lord, rescue us from this town whose people are oppressors, and raise for us from you one that will protect us, and raise from us from you one that will help. Do I have to say more? We have an obligation. Why would we not fight for those who don't have the strength to do it for themselves? Why would we not? Those who believe fight in the cause of God, and those who reject faith fight in the cause of evil. So fight you against the friends of Satan. Feeble indeed is the cunning of Satan. With us together, see, Satan preys on the lone wolf, on the lone sheep. See? But we have strength together. That is our greatest strength. When they can see us together. Why do you think young people don't gravitate to us? Because they don't see us together. When we come together, we have a force. You see, we can make some change. Let us unite in the cause. Not with the people, with the cause. Let us fight for the good fight. And let us do it together. Thank you.
Okay, at this time we'll bring. We had 8 minutes. That's why. and that's what I'm going. I've done many of these. Those who have been in conventions, the average workshop is 45 minutes, and they kick you out of the room for the next one. So we're going to try to do that here. So I want to present. Still waiting for some of the speakers, but I'm going to bring the ones that are here now, just so you to engage the rules. Some of you might have gotten the agenda. We have 7 seats here, and we'll fill those 7 seats with some of these experts that Brother Imam had mentioned. Now, you'll have a minute each to tell a little something about yourself, organization, who you're representing, that kind of thing. And there'll be questions. There'll be questions for me, the master moderator. There'll also be questions from folks that's on Facebook Live, perhaps around the country, maybe around the world. But we're going to take some questions from there. And we're going to be, everybody, you might have heard this, Ali Muslim, there's no little, there you go, big, there you go. Street doctor, man, a lot of people, I mean, person him. And so just be careful and be cognizant of the time, because there's going to be 2 sessions. There's going to be the first group of brothers, and then there'll be a second group of brothers. There will be an intermission in between. We will have a brother that's going to come in later on. Just walk in and introduce you to, I'll let you know that. So at this time, we like to bring one of the brothers to come up and take a seat while they join our panel. He's already introduced the prayer. It's Imam Rahman Muhammad. Take a seat wherever you like. And those of you who don't know, Imam Rahman is our resident Imam. He's our boss in this month, also a partner. Next is a brother who I met many years ago. I mentioned the street doctor. He's a boxer trainer. He's a mentor. He's a motivator. He's an activist. He's Ali Muslim. Come forward, brother. You got to clap up. This brother, I don't know him, but I heard of him and I feel like I know him. He's an educator, he's a teacher, and he's out of Essex County. Brother Habibullah Muhammad, come forward, take a seat. This gentleman, we call him the champ. We don't say that loosely. He's a NABA champion. He was ranked 3rd in the world. He fought some of the top contenders, and now he's spending his time in our recreation center training others how to fight and also how to use their mind and be conscious and be a spiritual and loving residents of our great city. He's no other than Derek Poppy Champ. Another brother who's an activist, an anti-violent activist, and he's been an inspiration for many young folks for many years. He's out of North New Jersey. He's now a 2-time author, I believe. He's my brother, one of the members of the Street Warriors, our brother Abdul Muhammad. Next, who'll probably be now the baby of this bunch, but he's on the board of this masjid. He ain't that young, but he's still young. You know what I'm saying? And he's a youth advocate, and he's a businessman. He got his own business called Halal Paper. Paper halal. What is it? And halal paper. You know what that means? That means good paper. Our brother Abu Salahuddin. Absolutely. So this is our first group of gentlemen. Give them all a round and astounding applause as we get this conversation started. Now, I'm going to introduce the first question. And then we're going to take some, I believe you have some cards that he can pass out. Those who want to ask some questions, we're going to take a few questions from the audience. I'm going to stay in contact with some of my folks on Facebook Live, and we're going to also take some questions from there. This is going to be very interactive. The first question that I want to ask is on our blackboard. Yeah, there's a bunch of them over there. Right. The first question I want to ask, and probably we should come on later on, but I want to ask this, and I want each one of y'all, first of all, to introduce yourself. You got 1 minute, starting with Brother Habibullah, then we're going to come all the way across. Just a minute. Take a minute down on the clock. Just a little bit about yourself and what people need to know about you. Right on.
Assalamu alaikum.
Get the mic.
I'm Habibullah A. Muhammad. I'm born and raised in North New Jersey. I converted to the religion of Islam in 1974. I obtained a BS degree in Business Administration from Ramapo College in New Jersey. I was an operations manager and area supervisor and general manager for McDonald's, a quick service restaurant in the community port business located in Dunkin' Donuts, Pizza Hut over on Bergen Avenue. I was a sub-teacher for North Public Schools for over 15 years before retiring in 2018. I'm currently employed as a softball umpire coordinator at South Orange and Cultural Affairs Center in South Orange, New Jersey. I'm also a DJ and the CEO of Black Sea Entertainment and owner of BLD's businesses. Assalamu alaikum.
Hi, my name is Derek Rowan. Really, everybody know me as Poppy. Former professional boxing champion. Got injured and retired my career. So I went back to college and got a degree. And I wound up after my career working in correctional facility, helping men come home and develop plans of staying home. That was my job for over 20 years. It got so challenging that so it will be a better chance, better to, prevention is better than curative, quite frankly. So I was thinking I'll start working with the youth. If I can stop them from going to jail, it'd be better from having to correct them after they're already. So I run a boxing program for the recreation department. And my idea and my goal is to get as many young men and young girls involved away from the negativity in the streets and the gym. That's what I'm doing with my life now.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm not going to use the mic. I don't think I need the mic. My name is Abdul Muhammad. Real briefly, assalamu alaikum to the Muslims in the house, peace to the Christians in the house, and to all those that are Pan-Africanists who tap about regarding to you. I'm not going to go into long detail of who I am. I have brochures that go into my bio of who I am. I'm just a lover of freedom, justice, and equality.
How y'all doing? My name is Abu Salahuddin. I'm a member of Masjid Al-Hadi. I do a lot of community work with the youth out here. I also do construction work. I'm a hip hop artist also. You know what I mean? I'm one of the young brothers that's up here trying to keep it together for Masjid Al-Hadi and carry on tradition, get the youth into the motion of moving in the right way.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Brother Ali Muslim, Umar Sabaz Kwawi. First, I want to let you know I thank Allah first for me to be here because there's so much work we got to do. And I don't like doing a lot of talk, I like doing a lot of work. And it's just saying, I always tell people guns down, hands up, and pull their pants up. The only reason I say that is behind the fact I run a boxing gym. When you come to my gym, you can't come in, just come in with your pants down and throw a punch. If not, you're going to get knocked out. So I'm just going to keep it short. And I just thank Almighty God Allah that I'm here. And I'm not, one thing I just got to say, I'm a member of Masjid Muhammad of South Orange Avenue. And I thank Allah for being there because we got a lot of work to do. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah. My name is Imam Abdul Rahman. I'm the resident Imam. I'm the one with all the gray hair. And I'm really simply a worker in the cause of truth. Jew, Christian, Muslim, it doesn't matter. I'm just a soldier for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm very comfortable in that position. And I'm here because I care about unity and I care about humanity. And I think we have to put down labels and we have to embrace human content. It's about human content. It's not about labels. It's about what's in your heart that's correct, that Allah put there. And we have to share that with our Christian brothers and sisters and other brothers and sisters and make this a better world. Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, thank you all. Now, first question I have is, and I want each one of you kind of like really delve into, because my passion is gun violence. I was going crazy in our country. Just right after the Kansas City football game, there was a shooting where must have half a dozen people shot, one dead, about 3 right now on the critical list, what have you. And it's just continue to happen in our community. How we as black men, what is our responsibility in dealing with this black on black violence that continues to perpetuate in our community across the country? And I'm gonna start with Abdul. I'm gonna give everybody a shot, because I mentioned him as an anti-violence activist. I wanted to just briefly give us your thoughts on that.
First and foremost, I don't like to start no events that I do without the spirit, the love of our ancestors, those that fought, bled, and died to leave a legacy so that we may be here. But we're not here in and of ourselves. There are people that paved the way so that we may be here and carry on the torch. Simply to answer the question, Brother Imam mentioned it in his introduction about unity. We have to love our people enough to suffer for our people. And what I mean by that is that we have to take responsibility that when we see our young people out of control as they are, it's as a result of the fact because we are afraid to address them. We are afraid to address them because of the fact that our own backyards are perhaps not clean. And so when your own backyard is not clean, it becomes like a fear. So we fear the generation of young people today. You know, so for me, being an activist in a long time that I have been an activist, you know, I have seen a lot of sensationalism.
For real.
And what I mean by that is that we ride by when a murder happened. We ride by when something happened and we give our people a feel-good message. And we romanticize on them on the back of their pain, but we never arrest the issue or the problem. And the issue and the problem is an extension of so many things that are happening in the individual's life that I see that's listed on the board. Mental health, right? Mental health is one of the biggest issues that if we do not address the core of that, then we would never be able to arrest the problem. So I would say that when we look at the core issues of the problems, I would say that mental health for me personally, what I have seen is one of the major issues that I have seen that needs to be addressed.
Anybody else want to follow that?
That's in reference to the shooting you're talking about. Yeah, I just want to say briefly, first of all, there's a term called, when you go to a football game, there's people called fans. F-A-N-S plural, meaning more than one. It's not talking about a physical person. It's talking about a mental person. Fan comes from fanatic. There's a lot of fanatics walking around in America right now. Quite a few of them. So their mind, these are fanatical people in their mind. A fan is one that's emotionally controlled by something. People die unnecessarily. So the Quran teaches us that we don't let our emotions control us. That's our jinn nature. There's something called jinn nature. Your jinn nature is your emotional nature. When you get angry, you do stuff. And then you say, wow, I shouldn't have did that. So we have to learn to control our jinn nature, our emotions. Once we master our emotions, then we move up to an intellect, to a human being. Satan can't affect you that way anymore if you can control your emotional nature. That's what happened there. People died unnecessarily. So those were fanatics. And there's a lot of, there's political fanatics. There's material fanatics. There's sexual fanatics. There's all kinds of fanatics. Fanatics are people that go to the extreme. So I just want to share that with you from a Quranic perspective. That's the jinn nature. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Anybody else? Go ahead.
There's an old saying, idle mind is a devil workshop. And when I think of the violence that goes on in our community, I think about youth. And we have all these systems in place for education, but I think we need more recreational activities in our community. And I'm an advocate for the youth. And too many times in our religious institutions, masjids, the churches, we run them like businesses. After prayer, we close the door. And many youth have come to me and said, you know what, at 9 p.m., I want to come in the masjid or in the church and just find some peace. But the doors are closed. The doors are closed. You know, and we always say what's wrong, but we never give them alternative to do right. We tell them they can't do this, don't do that. But what is in place for them to do something positive? Just take, for example, after Friday, after Jumu'ah, after prayer is over for us about 6:30. What do we do as a community after 6 p.m. at night? Why don't we have more family activities? Movie night, family night. We don't have that. So our youth is going to find something to do. And if you ride around any inner city, you'll find that they're on the corners, they stealing cars, because they're going to find some energy. And as being a teacher for over 15 years, they asking us for activities, recreational activities. Not just educational, not just social activities. Where's the recreational activities in our community, especially our females? I was talking to a sheriff in the park. Our females are joining gangs quicker than the males. Quicker than the males. And mainly, like I said, an idle mind is a devil workshop. Growing up, by 10 p.m. I have a sign. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? Most of us don't. When you look at some of the violence that goes on, how would a 10-year-old get shot? 11 o'clock at night. Man, we was asleep. You know, they don't even know anything about a chore. Taking out the garbage, washing dishes. You know, like I said, I am a coordinator for a softball league. We have 20 teams. I also do flag football for the young males. We have to get more involved, especially with our females. We could do jump rope. We could do volleyball. We could have swimming teams. Look at all the masjids and churches. Why do I have any activities going on with them? Because they're going to find something to do. An idle mind is a devil workshop.
Somebody else?
Yeah, I agree with what was being said. I do see a lot of recreational centers in this city. City of Elizabeth got a lot. There is a lot, and that's just not enough. It's not just an idle mind. I think the root cause of what everybody's talking about, especially about the violence and the guns, is that there's no self-love. I think self-love. Sometimes it's easy for you to kill your brother because you don't even like you. You can kill him because he looks like you. I think, you know, we don't hear that type of music anymore, like we used to hear, proud to be black, or we used to have a self-love, listening to different types of music. It's a self-love. The violence, the guns, is people not loving themselves. And I think that there should be some kind of protocol that we could arrange to where we can have more of unity groups. I love the part of mixing Christians, Jews, and Muslims. I love that because it's all one thing. You read it, right? It's all the same thing, different phrases. But we gotta teach our youth how to love themselves, how to love each other. We gotta love ourselves, because you can't drink this and smoke that and shoot this and sniff that if you love yourself. You can't drink and you can't do some of the things that we do like we already know. How do you do those things and love yourself?
Okay, thank you.
Cut me off all the time.
Good, brother.
First of all, I want to say this, right? I run a gym in the BASA. I open up in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, and 7 o'clock at night. And the only reason why I'm saying this is because I want to keep the doors open for the kids to come inside the gym. And the only reason why I'm saying this too is a lot of these kids got mental illness. And my brother Abdul Muhammad said, man, we losing our kids because they got drugs about half of them crack babies. You know what I mean? And we know that. You know what I mean? We from back in the 70s, the 50s, 60s, whatever, but I'm just gonna let you know. We got work to do, and all this talking, I love this talk, but we need to get out here and go to work and save our youth. I'm not a lipper fan. I like talking a lot. I like going to work. That's why I got my gym open now. Now I got keys to different trainers to keep that gym open for to keep the kids off the street. And that's what we gotta do. Guns down, hands up, and pulling pants up. That's it.
Okay, now. Okay. Brother Latif will be going around. Any of y'all got questions? Put it on this. Write it out on this right here, and I'll put it to the speakers. Speaking of mental health, there was a question from the audience. So again, if you guys got a question, Brother Latif, we'll go around and get that for you.
Anybody wants a card, just raise their hand.
how important is dawah or the message to the mental health population in our community? I think Brother Ali Muslim had kind of alluded to that, the mental health situation in our community. What's the method? How do we address it?
Let me just emphasize a little bit more on that for us. Even as activists, as just ordinary people, you know, imams, pastors, you know, parents are stressed. And sometimes we are not honest enough with ourselves to admit that we ourselves have a problem. We live in a sick, sinful world. And until we realize that we live in a sick, sinful world, we would never be able to address the peculiar problems that go on in our community. Right? So we agree that mental health is an issue. The reason why I mention that is because recently, myself, I've been doing this work for over 25 years, right? Wrote successful books, ran a successful program, the Street Warriors with the Street Doctor and all of us travel up and down with Salaam, you know, doing Stop the Violence caravans and doing good work. But sometimes we, even as activists, we need somebody else to pour into us. Because we ourselves, sometimes we just talking from the hip. And when we talk from the hip, we give our people a feel-good message. So we ride through the hood and we tell our people, stop the killing, stop the violence. But when we leave, our people still have the same problems that they have because we never address homelessness.
One time.
We never address mental health. We never address poverty. We never address the lack of education. We never address what the government has done as well in our community to infiltrate our community, to put the drugs in our community. So until we are honest enough to address all of those ills, we'll never be able to arrest the problem. So it takes forms like this here, where we can just not only talk about the problem, but walk away from here with solutions.
That's right. Come on.
With solutions.
That's right.
And then build an economical infrastructure where we can nurse black babies, where we can train black men how to be proper and educated husbands and decent men. I believe we can do it if we only try. And I'll close with this here. He who controls the diameter of your knowledge controls the circumference of your activities. Who controls the circumference of our activities other than ourselves? Ask yourself that question.
Speaking of questions, I have another one. This is a question that I've been asked over and over. Brothers, however, according to many statistics, right now, 66%, we have the highest divorce rate in the nation, perhaps even in the world. So many cultures, they honor marriage greater than America. 66% of African Americans end in divorce. 70% of black women are single. Question most sisters are asked, and I'm asking for the sisters to send it on my Facebook page. What is the answer on bettering the relationship with our women and our men? Be strong, brothers, because a lot of sisters are going to be listening in.
I just want to say from a Quranic perspective, we have other people here, so Allah tells you in the Quran that you are the maintainer and provider for your woman. Period. If you're not ready to do that, don't step to her. You ain't ready. It's real simple. It's real simple. Truth is so clear. It's right in front of you. So you are the maintainer and provider for her. Don't come home and tell her you can't find a job. Go make one. That's what I did. So, I mean, see, and there's something else. The Quran says that if there are no good women, there ain't gonna be no good men, right up front. You can forget it. You can forget it. Women are necessary for any community, any society to develop healthy livelihood. They're the first teachers. They're the first ones. Look what your mother went through. She taught you. She taught you taqwa. She taught you God consciousness when you was a baby. If you don't get that as a baby, then you've been robbed.
That's right.
The first teacher is not the imam, not the pastor, it's your your mother, your dear sweet mama.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So and Allah said in the Quran, reverence the wombs that bore you. If you got little girls home, any of you sitting out here got little girls home, Muhammad the Prophet said, Salaam Ismial, if you educate 2 of them, you get paradise, Jannah. That's what the Prophet said. Why? Because little girls grow up to be powerful women. And they teach what God says. That's why. So if you educate 2 little girls, she's going to grow up to be a powerful, fine woman. You can get paradise. So the answer is that we have to spend more time educating our women and protect them from everybody that's necessary to keep us safe. Assalamu alaikum.
Anybody else?
I want to say something about that. I don't disagree with you. I agree with everything you're saying. I think that is the problem, that the family is not there. So little girls don't see the role of a father in the household, and little boys are not seeing a role of a father. So he don't know how to be a man, and she don't know how to look for a man. And I think that they're growing up trying to missing these parts of their lives that they miss growing up. So now that they're older, they don't know how to interact in relationships. Why? You didn't see a husband and a wife that you grew up with, where mommy and daddy go through their little struggles, go through their things, but they still love each other. He still got his role, she still got her role, they still do what they do. I think it's necessary that we get the strength, from the man, and the, what's the word I'm looking for? Nurturing from the mother. But if those both households don't have that, then something missing. So that attack on the family has been the beginning. That was the whole start. You know, we gotta separate the family. You know, I saw something in the movie the other day. They talked about, they came up with the welfare process where the fathers can't be there. So the whole idea was to destroy the black family. Because as long as if we don't have the mother there or the father there, then the child ain't coming out right. He lacking something, boy or girl.
Let me challenge y'all a little bit,
Okay.
because I've been in the family business for a long time. The majority of people that come in my center for the last 20 years have been women. And they have a lot of complaints about you guys. You don't pay your bills, you're half working, you sit back and you wait for their income to support you.
Can't find a
You
job.
can't find a job, you got excuse, whatever. And all right, then, you know, and then you got all the excuses. In the case of black men, you want to blame the white man. You want to blame the system. So how do we, with all these other struggles, how do we, teacher, educator, how do we get to that point to where we can start engaging more, even in our you know, subtleties, our shortcomings?
I think it starts with respect. You know, I do a lot of traveling on the bus, and I can't believe that we still sit while women are standing, seniors are standing. We have to eliminate those 4-letter words. We have to increase our vocabulary, B-I-C-T-H. We shouldn't call our women that. We have sisters and mothers and daughters. So every time you call a woman that, and actually, when I heard my student would use those words, I would give them a vocabulary test. You have to get your vocabulary going. Those 4-letter words don't reflect, not our women. And you just look around. We have to give each other space. Me and my wife, there's me time. Just think, there's 86,400 seconds in a day. You tell me if that was money, you have no problem spending every penny. Every day that we live to see another day, we are given 86,400 seconds. But ask yourself, when do you have time for yourself? I see on social media arguments about, oh, he checked my phone, and you have to you have to give people their space and respect them. It's all about respect. And respect is treating others the way you want to be treated. A lot of times we want to think because we're the male, we could do what we want. No, it's about respect. Treat people the way you want to be treated.
And
Especially
speaking of
our
respect, wait a minute, I'm gonna put this on you. You're a rap artist, you're young, and when I see on Facebook, you know what I see. Just like teacher, you see what? The B's and E's and T's and T's all day long. Almost like it's part of our culture. And it's coming from your generation. Yeah, your generation. So how do we fix that?
It just take responsible individuals. You feel me? That's like the kids. It's funny because this is not by accident. It's like a design. You know what I'm saying? It's by design what our kids hear. It's by design what our kids watch. So we got to control that. As artists, we have to take a responsibility to try to change the narrative of what's cool or whatever the case may be. But what I was about to say is that it really starts from when they very young. We got to start getting our kids. We need the functions like this. Our kids need to be here.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They need to start experiencing community life from when they real young. If they running around these functions together from when they 3 or 4 or 5, and we having them every so often, then they'll recognize each other and they'll develop a love for each other from us having love for each other. You know what I'm saying? And I really think that a lot of this stuff also got to do with the education. You know what I'm saying? The educational system. Who is educating our kids? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Most of our kids, they away from us 9, 10 hours a day. We don't know what's going on inside of them schools and who telling them this and who telling them that, who raising them. We gotta take our kids back. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be the ones that's responsible for educating our kids. Because if it's like minds, like if it's people like this, and we're all together on educating our kids, and our kids will be educated a certain type of way. Sometimes our kids is in school with, I'm not saying that all teachers is bad or whatever the case may be, but they don't care about our kids how we care about our kids. They not gonna teach our kids how we're gonna teach our kids. You know what I'm saying? So what we gotta do is we gotta take our kids back. We gotta start educating them from when they small. Teach them how to love each other when they small. Let them see us loving each other when they're small. You know what I'm saying? It's brothers and that's around in the hood or whatever the case may be, that I knew my father and their father was going to the masjid together, and we used to see each other in the masjid, and that love carried out throughout our whole life. You know what I'm saying? We'll never intend to harm each other because we know how our fathers is. Our fathers love each other. You know what I'm saying? We seen it. So it's about we gotta get these kids from when they're young. This the only how we gonna solve it. You know what I'm saying? Some people out here and our generation, they done been through so much and older, they stuck in their ways, you feel me? So we gotta get them from when they small. I think that's something that we should emphasize on is our, not like youth like me, the little babies. Let's focus on them. You know what I'm saying? That's another generation, and we start to heal them in 20 years, then we'll see the healing. You know what I'm saying? So I think the educational system, we need to do something about educating our kids, maybe some type of school, maybe some type of Sunday school, maybe some type of program where we bring in our 3, 4, and 5-year-olds to get to know each other and things like that. Yeah.
Okay, so wait a minute, Poppy. You got another question? Okay, we got about 5 minutes left before we go into the session. We got another question?
Somebody's right now.
Okay. So, yeah, because I wanted to say what this young man said is very consistent. We're going to go a little bit over time with this 2 questions. As long as it's not repeated. And anybody on Facebook, on my Facebook page, or any Facebook page, you have a question, we're going to take a break in about now we're going to go about 8 minutes. So you guys keep your answers short. 8 minutes, we're going to go to intermission. here's the question. Sorry, I had to read through it. So do you think the economics and working together will help improve the standard of living for African Americans? Do you think the economics and working together, you're a businessman, Imam, can you address that?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Quick review. Salaam was talking about the football game several days ago. They generated $630 million in 2 days. Okay? We, as African American people, we spend $1.9 trillion a year. Not billion. Trillion is 12 zeros. Okay? You're right, brother. It's some of them 12 trillion. We spend more money. There's about 40 million African American people in America. We spend 1.9 trillion a year. How much of that do we retain per year in our community? Not the Hasidic community, not the Italian community, not the Asian community, but how much stays in the African American community? 2%. So the other 98% is gone. Why? If we want to wear wigs, why don't we go out and buy wigs and sell them? Thank you. All the wigs, the Asian took the market on wigs. But who's wearing 80% of the wigs? African American women in our community. So we're losing our market. We have to take our market, like the Jews do, like the Italians do. And the reason why we don't have businesses is because it's a trust factor involved. Do you think all Jewish people like each other? They don't. They don't. You think all Italian people like it? No, they don't. But when it comes to money, they like this.
Come on. Right.
They get the money and then go back and talk about each other.
That's right. Go ahead,
But they
Bob.
get the money. They take your money. So that's a good question. Once we keep more of that pie, once that money circulates more in our community, then those homes that the brother was talking about, the brother can't find a job. He got a job. Our problem is that we don't circulate our money in our community. Buy from yourself. When you buy a wig from an Asian, and I got nothing against Asian people, they saw a market, they jumped on it. In fact, when they come in the country, where's the African American community at? Where's it at? They ready. When they get off the boat, where is it? Just show it to them. And they go there and they sell wigs. They open up big. How many Chinese people in a Chinese restaurant eating? How many you see? But you in there.
Right.
Intelligence. When you walk into a business, if you don't see yourself in there, you should hold on to your pennies a little bit more before you start spending. So, I mean, that's a very good question. So it's so simple. If we can control our economics, like the brother said, then we got jobs. The brother got a job. The sister got a job. It's not hard. All we have to do is trust each other and unite. I'm sorry, go ahead, brother.
Last comment be Abdul, then we're gonna take a break.
So, as Brother Imam was, I was thinking about the word power. People organize in working for economical rebirth. People organize in working for economical rebirth. I'm 55. When I was coming up in the city of Newark, we had black-owned businesses. Mr. Joe, Brother Bobby. We had black-owned businesses. Your mother would send you to the store with a note, and she got credit. On that brown little piece of paper, and he gave her credit until she got her check. Because the black businesses and the black owners understood the economical situation that most black families was in. But we pushed them out. We pushed our own people out of our community. And so when we push our people out, we push other people in that took control of our community. It first started with the Hispanics, right? It first started with the Hispanics coming in, and they started opening up little stores. And next thing you know, they got a chain of stores. And next thing you know, other people started to invest in our community, and they started selling you the wigs. They started selling you all of the things that they know that you will consume and buy. And so the problem is, today, we ourselves as black people, as African people, whatever we want to call ourselves, we don't trust each other. We don't believe that our dollar is equal to the white man's dollar. Let's be honest.
Keep going.
Let's be real. Because we've been indoctrinated
Go ahead.
to hate ourselves.
Right.
And until we rid ourselves of the hatred from one another,
Right.
we would never unite. We will never unite. We'll be just talking, because a part of loving yourself is understanding the pain. And I see the brother from North, and I want to mention it because I never met him, but everybody felt the pain when that happened to the imam.
Yes, sir.
Everybody felt that pain.
Yes, sir.
Christians, Muslims, Jews, agnostic, whatever your belief system, you felt the pain of that. Why? Because you seen a man doing something constructive. Come on. In his community to educate and empower the community, and I dare you take his life. Come on.
Talk about it.
I dare you take his life. That is the type of love that we gotta have. That is the type of love we gotta feel for one another. That when you check him, you checking me.
That's right.
And if we think like that, we feel like that, we can empower our community.
Right.
And we can love one another.
On
We
that
can
note,
love one another.
I know, we take a break, we got food in the back. Thank you, this panel, a round of applause, y'all. More to come.
Zachariah Jackson, BASA News. We're taking a break.